You see these? These aren't the problem. I'll tell you what is. DRM. Digital Rights Management. It's a digital lock that you're not allowed to break. You know, I bought these. I bought these because I thought, man, maybe I could have some nostalgia for a thing that I never owned. We were a console family growing up, so I didn't get these real nice fat boxes. The cool PC case. I always saw them. I always saw them in the store, and I always thought, must be some real weirdos out there that play games on the computer, huh? But regardless, I really enjoy playing my games on the PC. I really enjoy having a PC, a PC pilled. No, the discs going away, that's not the problem. The problem is the digital lock. Now, the funny thing is I didn't do my research, and this was recent. This was like a month ago, a couple weeks ago that I bought these. Like I bought these thinking, oh, you know what? I've got a disk drive down here. I want to see what it was like to own the box, right? I don't own any boxes. I don't own any physical media like this. You know, I got movies, but I don't have any games like this nowadays. I want to install a game from a disk on my computer, like I never have. I can't. There's a digital lock on this software. I tried plugging this in, and I should have known better. It's got a little code. It's got a little code in the box. You know why? Because they want me to activate it online. Maybe I'm too stupid to figure out how that works, but I already know someone's claimed that code. Someone's claimed the Steam code for the orange box, and the same thing, you got to have an EA account for this. Just because I bought this does not mean that I own it. The one thing I was trying to do, grab the last bit of physical media that was possible to have. Shame on me. You know, there's a lot of places where you can spend your money on the internet nowadays. Movies, TV shows, video games, software. Not a lot of these places let you own what you paid for. DRM is the thing that tells you that just because you bought it, you're not allowed to use it as you see fit. You're not allowed to make copies of it, and that's understandable, right? We don't want rampant piracy. We don't want rampant copying of media and video games and stuff. How are they going to make any money? How are they going to stay afloat? How are we going to get cool new games? I get it. But the fact that these games that I bought are linked to someone else's account, and they were able to sell me this, I guess it's a collector's thing. I'll keep it. I'll hang on to it. Fine. But the fact that I can buy that and not own it, I can't use the product. Again, my fault. That is a digital lock. It is being imposed upon me, and I'm not smart enough, and I don't have the time to figure out how to break it. I shouldn't have to. I should be able to plug that into my computer right now and play it. It's not that way with a CD. I could hand a CD over to a friend and they can listen to it just fine. Records, vinyl. I got vinyl up there. I try and buy my media, sometimes physical, but stuff like this, what does it matter? Lewis Rossman made a good point on this, and I'm just going to kind of piggyback off of that because I think it's important. The discs don't actually matter. Yeah, it's fun to collect things. I mean, the value that I'm going to get out of these two, sure. I get to look at them, I get to hold them, but I don't own them, right? And anyone who's crying about Sony taking away their ownership just because the discs are gone or will be gone hasn't been paying attention this whole time. And I've only recently opened my eyes to this whole thing. I mean, sure, this is, maybe a little bit before this, around the same time frame. It's a bit of a wake-up call, and good. Happy for everyone that we're starting to see this. But whether Sony lets you hold something in your hand or download it off the internet does not change the fact that they get to control and check in and make sure you're doing things on the up and up, and you haven't modified anything about your system, about your hardware, about the disk itself. Let me ask you what this is. What is this? This has been happening for a hot minute. People got upset when Xbox's Game Pass price went up, and rightfully so. But the writing has been on the wall for this for a very long time. This Game of the Year 2007. 2007. DRM has been around a long time. This has been an issue for a very long time. That's not the only place it's happening. Music. Spotify took over everything, and I remember exactly when it happened. I remember when it came to the United States, and it was this new thing, and I remember feeling very confused. Not confused. I was like, what? I was half excited and half like, wait, what do you mean it's like all free? Because we saw LimeWire before this. We saw people actually pirating stuff, and then even in that moment, it was sometime around like 2011 or something like. I don't remember exactly when. I thought, so wait, the business is just gonna steal from the artists now? How is it $10 a month? I think it was only, might have been less than $10 a month. How do you own this? How do you own your music now? You don't listen to that much music. You really don't. You think you do, but you don't. You can talk about the value proposition of Spotify all you want, but the truth of the matter is, if you wanted physical media for your favorite artists, what percentage of them are actually going to be putting out a CD these days or a cassette? Some people are doing vinyl. Every one of your favorite artists or these new artists that you discover, you're not gonna grab it in physical format. Luckily, this one, as well as gaming, I have an alternative too for you. I got something cooked up. Don't you worry. Quick side tangent into disc rot and physical media. This stuff goes bad. Just like old VHS tapes that you left in your closet from your childhood or maybe your parents' childhood. There's a very good chance that those VHS tapes are no good anymore. They actually rot out. Acids and what have you. We could sit here and read into the technicals, but it happens to pretty much all forms of physical media. It doesn't matter what media it is that we're talking about. Digital or physical, it degrades, right? The hard drive that all of these music, movies, TV shows, games, and everything else is stored on, that disk will die. The solid state drive will eventually corrupt. It is the nature of the beast. So what happens when your favorite copy of your game or your CDs, so what happens when your favorite game or your CD collection, right? Since you guys love physical media so much, what happens when these are no good anymore? Am I going to go buy them again? Well, I don't think they make half of the CDs that I got anymore. Probably find them on eBay. Maybe. How long are those ones going to last? Are they in better shape? If the technology exists for me to take my CDs and make a copy of them, not a copy to disperse to people, not to try and sell, but just for me to hang on to. What if my house burns down? What if the kids get a hold of the discs? That's a very, very realistic expectation of what could happen to these, right? You got little ones. Let's say you bought the thing brand new yesterday. Little one gets a hold of it, snaps it in half, scratches it up, wipes their butt with it. Stuff happens. If the technology exists for you to back it up, well, if you bought it, then I think you should be able to back that up. In the case of Blu-rays, which PlayStation 5, Xbox Series discs are Blu-rays, they will degrade. And they have DRM protection built right into them so that you're not supposed to be able to break that encryption and make a copy or a backup yourself. Now, there are some great resources. One was Miriant. It had a lot of backed up, saved. That's not even a legit, according to the law, it's not a legitimate way to back up. You can't back anything up. You're expected to buy a new one. You're not supposed to reap the benefits of the technology that Sony takes full advantage of. You say, oh, well, they've got the rights to do so. Well, what rights do you have as the person who bought and supported and elevated these companies to? So this is why I agree with Louis Rossmann when he talks about who gives a shit if the discs are going away. You never owned them in the first place. Most of them. Some of them do. Doesitplay.org. 83% of the physical PS5 discs will play without an internet connection. You don't have to phone home. That's great. But what about the last 17%? And I'll tell you 0% of those games will let you legally or easily, simply, we're in a beautiful technological age where it should just take a few clicks, right? If you really own the files on that disk, it should just take a few clicks for you to back those up to your computer's hard drive. Something else interesting I see about this here is the download required section. The number's going down. Again, you own none of these games. You own a license to play it as long as that disc lasts. Kind of strange how this is broken up, but 10% the download is required. Well, I'm assuming that means even if you bought the disc, and let's say you lived out in a cabin in the woods, you wanted to bring your PS5 with you, does that sound... That's actually not that far-fetched. People love going to Airbnbs and remote locations, and sure, some of those people want to bring some games along with them. You're getting away, you get to do whatever the hell you want, right? Not if you bought some of those 10% games. As I've said before, the advancements in technology and production should be benefiting people, not just businesses. It can benefit them too. That's fine. People work at those businesses. As far as the entertainment industry goes, it's gotten far easier to make movies. It's gotten far easier to make music. It's gotten much easier to make video games. I'll say in the case of video games, the pricing has stayed fairly consistent. If we took a look at what a video game cost, accounting for inflation, in the 90s, 80s, I'm getting a pretty good value there on AAA games. Music is a commodity that is incredibly affordable now. You can listen to so much for $0 a month. Just listen to some ads. But in exchange for those lower prices or leveled out pricing, we've traded off the benefit of these advancements in technology and speed of production. It's not all bad though. There's still some hope. There's still some ways that you can actually reap the benefits of both. And you should be able to, and you should do it. Lost the file here, but we're going to go through a couple websites that could be helpful to you. First up is GOG.com. This is where I recommend you buy your games if you have a PC. And if you don't have a PC, I highly recommend you build one while you're still allowed to. When you go to GOG.com, you're greeted with a lot of sales. So we're talking about financial value right there. There's a lot to be had on this website. It's not as expansive as Steam, but they do carry a lot of the same titles. And when you purchase one, you'll end up with, you guessed it, raw files. You will have the raw executable file of the game that you choose. It'll be chunked out for Windows in 5 gigabyte segments, and you'll just hit install on the first one, and it'll run right through. I'll take you through a quick install of one of my games. I'll show you a little bit of my collection, not to show off, but just to show you. Look, there's Crysis. Just like I have in the disc. Guess what? I had to buy it on GOG to play it. Doom Eternal, Skyrim, really big hitters. Okay? For purposes of this, let's just pick something real small. War Game Construction Set, Age of Rifles. See right here? Download offline backup game installers. Well, don't mind if I do. And here's that happy little exe right there. Mind you, we're running on Linux. I'm just going to click launch, select my language, and we're installing it. Now this works without any internet. This works without any sign-in. Once this opens, I'll be able to play this game. And there you go. War Game Construction Set. Installed successfully. Now, mind you, I don't have DOSBox set up on this machine, so this particular game is going to require configuration on my end to run just because it is old. But you see how easy it was. Next up is itch.io. As far as I'm aware, every single one of these games, there's a ton of indie games. They have sales. They have bundles, free games, all kinds of cool little adventures for you to have. And same deal, this gives you a zip file, you extract it, and you get to playing. You back it up on however many hard drives you want. You want to save it in your cloud for later. It's up to you. Music, on the other hand, we have Bandcamp. chances are that a couple of artists that you like sell their music on Bandcamp. Bandcamp has extremely fair pricing. You can download it in FLAC quality, WAV, full uncompressed files. Another one I don't know how to pronounce is Qobuz. Qbuzz. They're a little different. They have a streaming service that you can subscribe to, and I've never personally used them. I usually hang out on Bandcamp, but maybe I'll check this out. Maybe I'll check this out more often. Download, buy your favorite albums in lossless CD or high-res quality and enjoy them forever. Now, I like seeing this a lot on Qbuzz. What is a download? The permanent purchase of albums or tracks in order to get audio files on your device. Once an album is bought, you can download it in different formats and listen to it on your chosen hardware forever. I like these guys already. If they mean what they say, I like them a lot. Now, we were able to figure out our games. We were able to figure out our music. Right? Those are places we can get things digitally and enjoy the benefits of having digital hard drives, SSDs, fast storage, off-site backups, cold site backups. You could be a psycho and store it on magnetic tape if you wanted to. The sticking point for movies is I don't know where to recommend you to go. I don't know where you should go other than getting yourself some Blu-rays and not breaking the digital lock on Blu-rays, because that would be wrong. Who knows? Maybe there's a mystical Blu-ray out there that doesn't have any encryption because it respects you, the customer. This is a pretty cool site though. Defective by Design. You might want to take a look at it. This is the resource I'll leave you with if you want to learn a little bit more about digital locks and how they work, why they suck. But they are a great resource for finding places to acquire the things that you want to enjoy long-term, forever, perpetual. I just want to wrap this up by saying it's not too late. If you've spent years on streaming platforms and listening to music and had Game Pass and you haven't built any kind of PC, you don't have a home server or any hard drives, it's still, the stuff's expensive right now, but it's not too late to start. You can start small. If you have to start with CDs, no harm in that. You get a nice something physical to hold on to. Is it as good as FLAC quality? Maybe not, but you're listening to it on a Bluetooth pair of headphones anyway, so you probably can't tell that much. It's not too late for you to start owning what you enjoy and keeping it and be your own curator of the art that makes you you. I encourage you to check out defectivebydesign.org. See if you find any resources that are important to you. Some of the options are just free and you can download them. Get yourself a little cheap hard drive. Those are still fairly cheap. They're not super fast, but they're fine for video and music. And a friendly reminder to always be mindful about what it is that you're consuming and where you're putting your time and effort. You are not the product. You are not the consumer. You are the deciding factor in your own life. Until next time.